Blessings, peace and power, family. Let me just invite.
Why does it always do that? It gives me the back. There we are. This is what I was looking for. It keeps showing the back, and I'm like, it's like front screen. I have to turn it around. How are you?
Ooh, I'm good. It's the retrograde. This retrograde has been different. I've been observing things and I'm like, it's very real, it's very practical, it's very in your face. It's like, it's interesting. Peace and power, everyone. Yes, it's time for the weekly forecast. This is the last week of the retrograde. Yes, blessings. Blessings.
Hey.
So you excited for the new moon meditation tonight?
I am actually. I am. And I'm also really happy to usher in a new phase. Because like you're saying, it's like the last week of this Mercury retrograde. So it's going to be entering into a new phase, a new feeling, a new focus. Although we know we're still going to have the shadow side of that and the ricochet of what's already been happening previous. But I'm ready for something a little bit more new, a little bit more fresh, actually. So yeah, I am. How about yourself?
Love it. Yeah, for me, it's that the sun and the moon have now moved out of the nodes. They're no longer connected. Eclipse season is over. I'm so glad that only lasts for a little bit, When you observe it, you really, what I've realized is when you get more connected, you really feel things more because you see it everywhere, because you're looking for these principles. And so you start to move a bit different. It's like spiritually you start to say, okay, this is what's happening. Let me look here. Let me do this. It's like a time of consistent change. Well, for me, that's what it was. It was like, oh, okay, this is what's really important for me to navigate through everything that was going on for everyone, So I'm glad it's over. I've got a new focus. Yes, new job is set. Marketing plans, it's like time of Gemini. Set those plans for communication, marketing, information gathering. Yeah, I love the time.
Very good. Yay! So, I feel good about it.
You wanna go first or should I go first?
What's the vibe? How do you feel?
First. I think ladies first. Ladies first.
I like that. Good times. Hey everybody. I hope everybody is bliss. So yeah, let's kick it off. I'm gonna go with the what's calling at me. This is not being clear. Okay, it's you. All right, cool. I'm just waiting to decide what cards are calling at me. Sometimes you can say, pick me up. But that one's sort of like, it's up to you, how do you feel? But yeah, let's pick up this manifesting numerology to see what kind of energy is going on.
Guys, remember, if you have any questions or requests, put them into the chat. We are here. It is a Sunday. Let's tap in.
Like that. And we love your participation, actually. Your interaction is amazing. Although I have to say, when it comes to the readings and stuff, I might not see what's on the screen. So do not feel no weird if I don't say what's on the screen. Yeah, in the zone. Okay, but all is good. We love the participation. So let's see. So as ever, this is a general read. So it will not necessarily resonate with absolutely everyone. However, be open. It might be something that has happened already or something that is about to happen. So at least you'll have a little bit of foresight. So let's see what's going on for the week ahead. And I love the fact that we do this on a Sunday because it kind of irks me when people say, oh, it's the beginning of the week, Monday. And it's like, no, Sunday's the beginning of the week, damn it. That's when the real, you know, the real week starts. That's like the planning and the getting ready and the, you know, so I'm glad that we do this on a Sunday. It's very, very fitting. Yeah, I don't know where that came from, but it is. It's fitting.
Yeah, Sunday represents the sun, isn't it? It's about the will. It's about consciousness. You know, it's about going for what you want. That's when you set your plan. You know, not when in the moon. It's like your more emotional moon day. You know.
Yes.
That's why, you know, if you set the day,
you want to get ish done, don't you?
Yes, that is it. That is it. You plan the day before.
This is the thing. See, this is the energy work I'm talking about. That's why it feels so much more fitting. So let's see what the vibe is. What's the vibe for the week? Strong. What is the vibe? Strong. What to look out for?
I'm emotional every day at present. It's okay. It happens. Eclipse
That's
season
normal.
is coming
Me too.
You know. It's okay. Just think about what you're going to use it for in the future. You know, that's a way to just channel it, because the chaos is a good thing. It clears out the, you know, like sometimes when you cough, it's an excess of air to clear out your throat because something was there. That's what the eclipse season is about. It's like flush it quick, get it out your system so you can move forward and, you know, live the life that is in alignment. Again, remember talking about that conjunction between Neptune and Jupiter. You know, that happened, the best self is revealed, then you have the clearing. It's like there were some things you need to come out your system for you to be that person. And now you set the plan to work towards building that. As the Saturn-Uranus square starts to come into place, that plan will be tested, you know, but we've got some time. We got some time for that.
It's all good, right? You're not alone.
Yeah, that's it.
It's all good. We're working through it, yeah?
That is it.
So, the first card to come out is New Moon in Libra. Know you are loved. Okay? Know you are loved. Okay, and that is very fitting right now, because where there is a lot of emotions going on, where there is a lot of planning and things coming up, know that you are loved regardless of what it is that you are attaining or going for. You might not be always popular. Keep it all the way 1,000. Some of the changes may not be popular to everyone, but know that you are loved, you know, by the creator, you know, the source, you know, your family, your friends. There are people around who are going to help you on this change and this upgrade that you are on. Yeah, know that you are loved, and also know that there is an extra sense of tell me what that was again. An extra sense of clarity. Thank you. You get an extra sense of clarity when you look at love in itself. When you look at, okay, so what it is, what do I love? What does love mean to me? What does the expression, what does the actions mean? Because obviously when we talk about love, it's not always in the most intimate way. It's not always hugs, kisses and stuff like that. Love is sometimes saying the right word at the right time. Sometimes love is stepping away, giving space. Sometimes love is giving critique. You know what I mean? Sometimes love looks like, I ain't happy with that. You know what I mean? Sometimes love is, I need a damn break, you know, and love encompasses everything. So knowing that you are loved means that there are going to be times where there might not be everybody around clamoring around you at that time, because what's necessary is that time for you to go within. And if you've got everybody clamoring in to try to make sense of the world for you, sometimes you're not able to do the more deeper work that is necessary. So be open to the many different ways that love shows up for you and is in your life currently. If you're not feeling that there's a lot of love going on, then I will challenge you to look at what love really means, and then you will see love all around, all around. You know what I mean? I'll challenge you to really have a look at that. I'm going to go into that, and then I'll tell you the other two cards that come out. So we've got, so yeah, new moon in Libra. So obviously it's a lot of thinking. Yeah, air sign vibes. New moon in Libra. So we're talking about that thinking, analyzing what's real, you know, what's just a feeling, what is the facts. And that's why I was saying about challenging you to really look at what love really means. You truly are loved in a totally different, new and renewed way every different day, you know. And that's I think it's really quite beautiful, especially for the parents as well. I don't know where this is coming from, but especially for the parents, there are communication and certain things that are happening with our children that is going to show you that different level of love, the different level of intimacy with the conversations that you're going to have. For those who have got more smaller children, it's the things that they're doing, their need for you. Sometimes that spurs on this. I'm needed. Okay, so at least I'm needed. You know, this little person depends on me. I'm their God. You know, and that in itself can build up a certain level of confidence and a level of duty. So even if you're feeling really rather low, the fact that your children are coming to you with something or needing something, it pulls out something extra. So where you probably would have put the covers over your head and said, I can't deal. If the bubbas need you get what I mean? And you know that there is something more that they need, or they're a little bit more sensitive this week, or, you know, they just got a little bit more TLC. It will draw out of you that love that you have. Do you get what I mean? And then it will show you, oh, I actually had more in my tin than I actually thought. And that in itself is a catalyst for the change that's going on. So I love that. I don't know where that's, so I don't know who that's for, but yeah, I'm taking that on board as well, to be fair, because especially for those who have the, you know, teenage little people as well. My son's going to be going up to doing his exams, so he's got a lot of prep to do within this half term. So I know that for me, I'm going to be a little bit more like, come on, we're going to spend a couple hours doing this, and then you can have your free time, you know, so that although I'm tired and I've got the other little bubba, I have to pull out that little bit more. And that's my love. That's my extras. You get what I'm saying? Because I know you need a little extra motivation or a little bit of, you know, extra support while you are doing this prep for exams and stuff like that. So that plays a role. That makes sense of why that came up. We're always trying to make things make sense, because everything is connected. There isn't anything that is somewhere in the wind that's got nothing to do with nothing. There's always connections, and that's what I challenge you to start looking at, the things that make sense together, the synchronicities, you know. And in the first instance, they may not look like a synchronicity, or may not look like it makes full sense, but take time and you will see. Take time and you will see. Me, I said, Carl. It's there, you know. So let's find out why that's there. Yeah, see, Queen of Wands, that's the clarification. So the Queen of Wands, this is that action energy. So again, this know that you are loved, know that you have much to offer. It's all the actions, you know, all the things that you can do. And this is someone who is a collaborator, great team player, you know, when it comes to getting things done. This is the chief getting things done person, you know. The Wands, this is fire, this is passion, this is getting your ducks in a row and saying, right, this is what's happening, and this is what I'm going to do because of this love that I have for myself, that I, you know, the love that I have for everyone around me. This is what I can give. And it's practical, you know, and it's pragmatic, and you can see it making sense on so many different levels. You get what I mean? Because you're like, right, if I support this one doing that, then inadvertently I get supported, because that communication then shows to me my strengths, or shows to me my the areas that I may need to lift up or pull more out of myself. So there's that energy about being pulled out of yourself a bit more. And I love the fact that she's here, because the Queen of Wands ain't no joke. Obviously, we know it's gender neutral, but the Queen of Wands represents that feminine power, that urgency. You know, sometimes a woman get urgency when she have to start out things, and it's right now, not later, right now. You know, it's that kind of energy. So I like the fact that there is a pulling to get things done, and it's coming from the heart space, you know. And Knight of Pentacles. So not only or is there an energy where things need to be done right now? For some of you, this is going to take a little while. The Knight of Wands is slow moving. It's not even on his horse. He's taking a stroll. This is planning. This is what's going to happen. Dotting my I's and crossing my T's. I'm not rushing. So the passion's there. You know, the passion for what you want is there, and the passion and the drive is there, but the actual conclusion might take longer. So give yourself the space for the prep. Give yourself the prep space. You know, yes, the passion is there for those who have got the energy and it can get done right this minute. Go ahead. But for those who you feel like, oh, there's a bit of a pause, there's a bit of a, don't be upset with that pause. Know that the pause is there to give you the clarity that you need, because this is dot the I's and cross the T's guy. So this ain't rushing in and don't know what's going on. This is, I've done a bit of research, I've done some reading, I spoke to a few people, got some information, you know, and I still got a few things before I lay everything down, you know, before it's set in stone, you know. So there's that as well, which I'm really thankful to see. So there is that space of passionate wanting to get things done, the energy to do so, but also the space for reflection and a space for taking it easy and saying, this is the route that I'm going to take. And it may take me 3 months to get this particular thing done, but each month I'm working towards this. Each week I'm working towards this. And also in saying that, I started reading a book called what was it called? The 12-day year, 12-week year, something like that. And it's basically around doing goals that you would necessarily set in a year, but doing it within 12 weeks instead of the 12 months. And they're saying there are certain things you can break down into smaller sections. So weekly, if you want to be learning a language per se, you can say, right, I'm going to do Duolingo for 45 minutes every day. That's you doing something each day towards that goal of being fluent in the language or feeling comfortable in that speaking, instead of sort of giving yourself this whole big year to get things done. Because sometimes, you know, the passion and the drive can just fizzle. And that's where sometimes we kind of get that guilt energy. So it's just like, oh man, you know, I was on track for that. And then they're kind of like, oh, I don't really feel like that again. So for some stuff, that is going to be this Queen of Wands burning. Let's get it done now. And like I said, for some of you, this is, I'm going to take my time. It's going to take a little bit longer because I really want to take the time and do something every day that's going to move me closer to that goal. So I'm loving the fact that that's there. And then the overall, hey Lisa, and the overall here we have is know that you are loved. Okay, so know that you are loved. Okay, so I love that. And then we've got full moon in a Leo, we go wild. So yeah, for some of you, this is shake up the vibe. Shake it up and go wild. So for some of you, this is about stepping outside of the comfort zone. And it might not be wild in a sense where, you know, you start doing some crazy stuff, but it might just mean this isn't my usual remit. I don't usually do things this way. I usually take my time and do this, this, and this, or whatever it is. But going wild is just being outside of what you usually do. You know what I mean? And for some of you, yeah, it is a little bit of bad behavior, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? As long as you keep yourself safe and whoever else is around you is safe, you know what I mean, ain't causing no danger, then go forth and enjoy yourself. A life I feel. You know what I'm saying? So there's that energy too. But definitely around stepping out of the comfort zone. For some of you, I will say for some of us, yeah, let me put myself in the mix. For some of us, we like things in a nice ordered manner, and you know, we're quite confident in what's for us and what's not, until something else comes up and you're like, oh, I never knew that about me. Oh, but excuse me. And there was a lovely revelation. And that's kind of what this eclipse season was actually revealing to us, some real stuff about ourselves, our wants, our needs, the things we like, the things we dislike. And some of the stuff you're like, I really like that. Yes, you do. Because maybe you are a little bit wilder than you thought in the first instant. You get what I'm saying? And like I said, there ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy your life. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what this little wild has got. What clarification? Why is this up here? So we know there's a shake-up going on, but what is this shake-up regarding? Please? See, so there's a shake up going on with the emotions, how you are. Oh, you're in Zanzibar. Yeah, watch out now, live your life, girl. I love it. So we've got the moon card, which is a Pisces energy. So we're talking about water. So about moving with our emotions, you know, not quailing them. You know, you get them kind of, oh, this is what I want to do. And sometimes we will quell that energy and we'll sort of say, oh no, that's a weird, or oh no, that's not quite me. But it's about digging into it. What is that about? Why do you feel like that? What is all of this fizzy feeling? What is this sensual energy? What is this, you know, distance or repelling energy? Whatever the emotion that is coming up for a reason, and they want you to dig a bit more deeper. That's why they're saying go a bit more wild, go wild. Don't stand on the fringes. Don't just put your foot in the water and just kind of like, you know, wet your toes. Once you feel like the water's, you know what I'm saying, at a decent temp, jump in, man, and I see she's submerged in high water. Look on her, she's all the way underneath. She's submerged in it. You know what I'm saying? She ain't playing around. She's like, ah, this is wonderful. Or this is new and exciting and, oh, this ain't me, but maybe it is, you know, and that's it. It's about really playing with the energy, you know, and not sitting on the fringes. Yeah, I keep hearing sitting on the fringes. Don't sit on the side, you know. Allow the current to take its course, take you where it needs to go. All of these emotions are for a reason, are for you to say, okay, this makes me feel somehow, this makes me feel less than. So I'm going to use that energy to work out what feeds my confidence, what gives me the bounce that I need, what are the characteristics that I need to stay away from, because it invokes a different kind of feeling. It invokes this feeling that makes me don't feel comfortable. Or for some of you, this uncomfortability is more forcing you to do things that are outside of the box. So maybe this energy of, I keep having this same bloody feeling, it's making you be like, all right, bust out of the box, go wild, mash up the box that they're trying to put you in. Who told you that I'm meant for this box? How you mean? Go wild. Challenge those feelings. Work on those feelings. Make them feelings work for you. Because remember, this is emotions. To me, to emote is to move. So these emotions are channeling something to you for you to actually make a movement. Do you get what I'm saying? So this go wild is definitely around, yeah, break out of the box. You get what I mean? Don't allow these labels and these things and this is how you're supposed to be to really ground you, because these emotions are here to show you there's more. And I challenge you to just jump in high water here, jump in and see what go on. Yeah, I'm saying it will work out that actually the water ain't so bad. It was fine. You get what I say? So whatever comes up, flow with it, because not only is it a emotional and physical manifestation of yourself and where you are seeing yourself. Because remember, we started off with, remember that you are loved. Know that you are loved. So above everything, what you're here to do, your mission, you know, who you have to deal with, you know, the fact that you're balancing out your duties as well as your energy to create, you know, that it starts from love. You know, it's always going to start from love, but sometimes we need a little kick up the pants to remember, like, you know, say you're loved. So yeah, things might not be going as it's supposed to go, and maybe people might not see your view or even agree with your view. It's neither here nor there. It's in emotion. Emote to get you to move. So take the actions as they resonate. Take the messages as they do, and act accordingly. And remember, you don't have to rush it. Remember, we've got that Knight of Pentacles. You don't have to rush this. This is something you can do over time. So maybe this week is just the beginning where you just start putting things down that you want, that you see yourself doing, you know, and you breaking it down into smaller sections. But overall, this is a spiritual awakening. There's a spiritual happenings. We've got the Hierophant. So we know there's an ascension going on spiritually. You know, 5 marks change. So there's a change in where you're at. So all of this is happening for your spiritual development. all of the emotions coming up, this whole getting out of the box, stepping out into a brand new, it's all for your spiritual growth. So don't feel boxed in, and don't feel like, oh, you know, maybe I shouldn't be doing that because of this or because of that. That's not relevant. It's your journey. You know, don't and especially for those who are quite strict with your spiritual practices. I'm hearing for some of you, your strict practices at sometimes at different points are not necessary in that moment. You are just doing it as a repetitive motion. It's something that you do, like putting on your shoes. Whereas if you took time to be present in the moment, sat back and looked at the situation and really analyzed these emotions and why they are here, you'll realize that there is actually another action to take. There is actually another tool I can use, another chip I can play. You know what I mean? There is someone else I can go to for this. There's a different way of looking at it. There's a perception shift. And I don't want you to be told tunnel vision that you don't see that there are other ways of doing things. This is why the Go Wild is here. This is why the emotions are here to show you that, oh, there are other ways of doing things, and it doesn't have to be the same routine or the same mundane way that you do things. Yes, it's enlightening, but there is more, is what I'm saying, and this is what I'm hearing. So don't box yourself in, people. Let it flow. That's the energy that I'm getting. And then we've got, lastly, new moon in Aquarius. Open, oh, look at that. Open up to change. See, I didn't even look at the card yet, and we know what I want. So yes, open up to change, folks. Open up to change. Open up to the new way of doing things. And we're coming up to that new moon, and I want to see y'all tonight. Yeah, I want to see you tonight for this new moon in Gemini, you know, where we are preparing and we're getting to ourselves and we're looking at the changes that we're making, what this eclipse season showed us about ourselves, the things we wish to keep, the things we want to modify, the things we want to highlight, because there are things in our personality that we wanted to shine a bit more brighter. You know, maybe we were sitting in the background a little bit too long and you didn't want to be seen or heard, and now Father's saying, oh no, it's not that time, you're meant to be seen, my lady, or mister, you know what I mean? So there is this energy of change on the horizon. Tell me what this change is. And that's another air sign energy that's come up. What's this about? Yeah, you see, drive, will, determination, the Chariot, you know, getting things done. This is that I see now what I need, you know. And it's also about again, it's that same motion, like I said before, about not just doing things because you feel like you should. And sometimes this energy can talk to that. It can speak to, well, this is what's going to give me the end result, but maybe might not be the best way to go about it. So it's about making sure you feel comfortable with the movement that you're taking. This is that willpower. This is almost like, I liken the Chariot to the solar plexus. My willpower, the things that I deserve, the things that I see, my identity. You get what I mean? So it's like, what are you willing to do for this change? You know what I mean? So this is a slight movement, in a slight change in the way you're seeing things. So be open to that. And then we also have the Two of Swords. So there are decisions. Again, a lot of decisions being made to how you are going to make these changes that are going to make huge difference to your life. Huge, because remember, this is all about you being open to change. You know, the decisions to speak up, the decision to take a new stance on something, you know, to show up in a different kind of way, you know. This ring light is really making me, hold on. You know, we take a moment, you know what I'm saying, to reflect and to observe, you know, but this is the energy that's coming, a vibration that changes on the horizon. But remember, it doesn't have to be done overnight. Don't put yourself in too much pressure. That is what the energy is. That's why we're talking about going wild, stepping out of the comfort zone, not being held to one specific standard. Works, you know, so that kind of thing. If it's not broke, don't fix it. But that's not the energy. Sorry.
You've gone a bit quiet, you know.
Sorry, I got coming through. Sorry about that. No, no, people say
Always.
me, I do me reading, folks. So lastly, let me get a card for the Angel Abundance. Oh, okay. Ooh, okay. Right, 3 cards came out. I wanted 1, but hey ho. I'll let you get on after this, Daryl. So the first one is organize for success. So do not let the word organize intimidate you, as it is simply a way for you to ensure clarity of purpose. Organizing your thoughts, your reports, your living and workspace, and your finances will help you know and plan your next action steps. So again, it makes total sense and is in full alignment with what we were talking about being in prep mode, being in a space where we're saying, right, this is what we're going to need next. So get into that. Thank you, that's lovely. Getting into that organized for success mode is like, don't be frightened that you're going to have to start getting a little bit more organized. It just means it is focused. Instead of using organization, maybe I'm just going to get a little focus, a bit more intentional, whatever words sounds good and makes you feel good. Essentially, that's what we're doing. We're moving towards our focus and our highest intentions. So I love the fact that that's here and it makes full sense of where we're going. And we've got savings, folks. I've digged into mine so hard. I've been enough to fill up mine back. Yeah. So savings. As you consistently save for your future is safe. You do your future self a big favor as you consistently set aside present funds. This is a part of your self-care and path to feeling secure as you focus upon your life purpose. Wow. That spoke to me and flicked me in my neck back. So I've got things to put aside because I've been dipping into the savings on a big scale. So yeah, that spoke to me hard. So the next one is unlimited ideas. Your mind is one with God's infinite mind. Therefore, you have complete access to unlimited ideas, guaranteed to bring blessings. All you need to do is take divinely guided actions to allow these ideas to come into fruition. Oh, I love that. So remembering that we are in this unlimited source of ideas and unlimited source of creation. You know, we're in creation mode. We are here to create. So with that in mind, it shows you that your focus and what your, what's they call it, your purpose, the things that you feel like you're here to do, is there's always going to be more. You're always going to find the next idea. If one doesn't work or one feels like, oh, I'm just going to add on to what I've got, then just know that it's there for you and that the Most High and all our ancestors and our spirit guides are conspiring on our behalf. You see, the universe, I work for us. You get what I'm saying? So that's the energy. So not to be frightened. And then you can fully go wild, do different things. Don't feel like you have to just be all in on one thing because this is what I do. Nah, there's more. There's so much more. You get what I mean? So be open to that change. Remember that you are loved. And yeah, take it easy. No rush. Daryl, over to you, my robot.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I wrote like 3 pages of notes. I loved it. The last 3, I really feel like just really hit onto what we're going through today. You know, organizing for success. You've got the new moon. It's in Gemini. That's what this is about. The depositor of them is in Taurus. So we've got a lot of practical, pragmatic energy, but it's intellectual. So it's about planning. Mercury's still in retrograde until Friday. So, you know, right now it's a time where it's like, yes, I know the retrograde is over. I can start moving forward. You set up your plans, you do whatever you need to do, and then you have that action that you was talking about, you know, which is what a new moon is always about. So I loved that. You know, it is also your Gemini rising. So, you know, that means it's in your first house. So look at topics to do with your character, you know, your image. That's what the first house is about. You know, that's an example of using this to your personal chart, because whatever's going on, it's always going to be personal. So again, that's what, when you're talking about using your emotions, that's what it's about. You know, especially this eclipse season, we were in our emotions. What does that bring up? How do we use that now, you know, to change the direction of where we was heading, that we may realize, okay, there's some changes here, some changes there. And so when you really was touching on that, so you're speaking to me, you know, me reviewing it, you was, a lot of it, I was like, yes, I can see where that is important. So guys, let's start the weekly forecast for the astrology side. So we've got the new moon in Gemini. That's on Monday, so that's tomorrow. You know, I'm not going to go too much into that, guys, because we have got the meditation tonight. The links are in our bio. We hope to see you all there. We're going to be breaking it down, doing another tarot reading, you know, doing some journaling as well, just to set the intentions over the next 2 weeks. So I hope to see you all there. But then Mercury actually goes direct, guys, on Friday. So it's in Taurus right now. Remember, Mercury is about communication. It's about the thoughts. It's about the mind. It's how we communicate. In Taurus, it's already quite slow. It's very practical. It doesn't really want to, you know, communicate. Anybody knows a Taurus knows Taurus don't always communicate. You know, if you've met one, you'll know there's times when they're just to themselves. That is Mercury in that. It's saying, this is what I need to do for myself to sustain my needs. You know, you also had the new moon and the full moon in the same sign. So it's, you know, it's picking up that energy, and now it's going direct in the sign of Taurus. So it's saying, you've had the plans, you've thought about it, that's great. Let's move forward. Let's push out these ideas. So this week, up until that time, it would be good for you just to set plans for what you're going to do. Prep yourself for the shift. Because after, when you first go in, you still have the shadow period. Shadow period is when it tracks back where it was. So you know, it's like it's almost going over the same thing twice, because it's gone back and now it's going forward. So in that time, you may see there being things you still need to adjust to your plan, because you're going back over it. But, you know, it's just showing the cycle of how the mind works. We always go through this. So using it and planning it out will help us to, you know, set good plans, especially when it comes to anything to do with communication and information. Who do you need to speak to? Who do you need to know? What do you need to learn? You know, those are the things that you should really focus on, because Mercury is going to go back into Gemini. But right now it's being practical. So when you think about the practical side of it, you're still using the new moon's energy to prep yourself for when Mercury goes back into Gemini, and then the mind and the information starts coming to manifest that thing that you want. And then we've also got Saturn going retrograde. You know, Saturn's been the same sign for a while in Aquarius. Going retrograde just means discipline. You know, it's going back. It's going back towards Uranus, guys. That square energy that we had for about 2 years, you know, it's coming back for the last time. It won't go direct, but it's coming. So when Saturn goes into retrograde, it's not like Mercury going into retrograde, because it's a social planet. You know, it takes years to go through a sign. So it's not so much your personality as much as it is how you live your life that may be affected. You may be tested with different responsibility, because that's Saturn. So that then turns from, this is what you needed to do externally, but now it's turned inward. You know, after the Mercury retrograde, so like the Mercury's like, this is what I need to do. Saturn's going to turn back and say, okay, you now know what you need to do. I'm going to test you. And now you need to do it. You know, but this energy is an energy can give us a lot of rewards, because when you listen to Saturn and you follow Saturn, you know, abundance is waiting for you. So the myth of Saturn that I was reading the other day was talking about when Saturn ruled, or Kronos ruled, this was in Greek mythology, there was abundance, because discipline is a good leader. So this week, what it's doing, it's setting us up at the beginning of the week saying, set up a plan. You've got a week where Mercury's still going to be in retrograde. Plan to launch some stuff. You know, I've got things I'm going to launch. And then, my close friends know, but that I've been working on X, Y, and Z, but no one else knows. And then when the retrograde is over, I'm like, yes, this is a good time to push this out there. You know, because I've done the work. I've, like you were saying, dotting the I's, you know, making sure everything is like, all right, can I sell this? Can I do this? Is this plan for my health that I've set up? Let's say if it's in the 6th house for you, is this plan that I've set up for my health, is this practical? You take this week to really go in to the practicality of it, because Mercury is then going to go out and give you the information. But what you plan for on the new moon is going to be the information, because the new moon is in the sign. So then with Saturn going retrograde, this will be about discipline. It's going to be about setting up the routines that you need to do what it is that you need to do. It's a heavy energy. You know, it will be taking away certain freedoms. You're going to have to make choices. You know, it won't be heavy like, you know, crazy things happening. Usually this is more just discipline decisions. Do you go out drinking, or do you stay at home studying, or do you go to a business event and network with people that are in alignment with your future? All three of them will display different levels of freedom for you. You know, it could be emotional because you've gone out with your friends and you've had fun, right? Staying at home could be that you're able to clear out your space. That's a certain level of freedom, right? Going out to a business event, you may be uncomfortable. You know, it may be a lot of pressure that Saturn's putting on you and Uranus, because Uranus is about doing new things. But at the same time, what level of freedom will that third choice give you that may not have been an option to you before? You know, that's the sort of energy that is happening. It's been a complete change. Things have shut off for us. You know, that's what the eclipse season is. It's like, this is no longer going to be an option. If you try to live here, that's fine. But the new life is going to be giving you options to do things you've never done before and to expand your horizons. And that's we're in the first week of that, you know. Well, technically the second, but I'm calling it the first because the moon energy is only clearing off, and I follow the moon. The moon's energy clears off of the new moon. So I'm very excited, you know, for the future. So guys, if you got any questions, or if you know what house, you know, these aspects are in for you, you know, have a look at them. You know, I can attest to how specific astrology can get you if you follow it and you look at certain things in your chart and you say, okay, because X is happening in my, let's say, 10th house, which is about your career or how you're seen in society, because that can change for everybody else. And you can say, this is why I want to change how I've been seen. I no longer want to be this person. I want to be that person. You know, because Uranus could be in your 10th. And if it's squaring off, then you've got Saturn could then be in like the 8th. So you're connecting to people, maybe even the 7th. And then you're looking at how these two parts of your life are battling with each other. But then you set plans in something like the new moon in Gemini, which is happening today or tomorrow. You know, you set your plan there and then you work on the plan and you adjust it because you are as in alignment with nature as you can be, because we're only human looking at the stars. But if we use it as lessons, it helps us to evolve, you know. So yeah, guys, I hope you have enjoyed the reading. Have you got any questions? I'm going to take a week off to delve into my chart. I want to understand it better. You can do that. Honestly, time is relative. Taking the time to invest in yourself is always going to pay off dividends in the long run, but it may be hard in the short run. So definitely say you should do that. Absolutely love. Yeah, thank you guys. So yes, Shirley, what's your comments? in summary?
So I just took on board that in so much. Do you know what it is for me? I'm looking at what the reading was saying, and obviously what's going on in the stars right now. I am at that space right now where I am ready to make new plans, and I feel as though the eclipse season gave me a lot of clarity. At the time, it wasn't great. The things that were coming up at the time, it didn't feel comfortable. But what you're saying is that it was all there for, exactly like you said, to illuminate that. And what I find with that space, Daryl, is like almost like a little bit of apprehensiveness there. There's, I don't know where it's coming from, but I feel like there's an apprehensive kind of, you know, new plans again, you know, and I just want it to be a thing where there's no need for the apprehension. What is necessary is going to happen. The change is here. The changes occurring every day in small little ways, whether or not you see it. You know, so sometimes, like you were saying about the dot in the I's and crossing the T's, taking your time, you know, but being in that prep mode and working in alignment with what's actually happening in the stars, it makes sense. You know, that discipline energy, it actually, you know, I never understood before when people used to say discipline is freedom. I was like, how the hell is that? You know, because it's there, you know, it's getting me to do things that I may not want to do, damn it. You get what I'm saying? But then to stay the course with something. And like I said, instead of that whole thing about, you know, organize for success, you know, it's not about being rigid minded. However, it's literally saying, if you follow this system, if you give yourself, you know, a plan, you know, and one that is loving, you know, and one that feels, you know, expansive, then it doesn't have to feel heavy, and it doesn't have to be hard hitting, and it doesn't have to have so much apprehension, but I can feel it, I know it. And as the time progresses, it will become less and less, especially as you start to see the fruits, you know, because obviously everyone's looking for the fruits, you know, like, yeah, it's that time, I'm about to do this, but it's the intentions. It's not taking the time to do that. So yeah, that was a beautiful breakdown, Daryl, and it's got a lot of things. I've got a lot to consider, and I've got a lot to put down in my own notes and stuff like that. So it's beautiful, and I'm so looking forward to this evening. So I really hope to see you guys. The links are in our bios, because I look forward to that collective energy. It's great when I do the journaling on my own, and it's great doing the meditations on my own. But to do that, you know, just to as a collective, there's a different kind of energy, and there's a different kind of love you feel, a different kind of warmth, and a camaraderie around our intentions and around us wanting to grow, because essentially we are all here on different planes doing the same kind of thing. We all want to ascend. We all want to become bigger and better than we currently are. So when we put that energy together, it's a different kind of thing, and you get more excited, and then you get energized by others as well. So take that time to collaborate with people, take the time to immerse yourselves in others and how you're feeling. But also when it's that time for me now, what's going on for you inside, like you were saying, Daryl, about, you know, Saturn turning itself back, spotlight on you, like, so what are you saying? You said all of this beautiful kind of stuff. Well, what are you saying? What are you going to do about it? What have you done thus far? And does it sit right in your heart? Does it feel good in your soul? And that's the clincher, and that's the thing that can make you sit back and say, that feels good. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. You know, so that's, you know, that's when we're there. I love that. I love that.
I think you said the right word, you know, in closing, of systems. Systems are so hard to build, especially if you go through real change, you know. Changing your system is important, you know. Like for me, it's the work thing. I've started working at like 5:15. I usually wake up and do my own thing. I'm like, oh, systems have to change. So yeah, think about what this change is about. Set your plans, your intentions, and like I said, set up a good system. You know, something that you can try to follow, something that suits you, and you can't go wrong. So Guys, you have any questions? I greetings. You know, greetings. Lovely to see you. Yes, we're just finishing up. So, guys, you know, as always, remember we both have our personal readings. You know, we're doing the new moon today. You can get a personal reading for the new moon as well. Links are in our bio. And also, we both do, well, I do coaching as well. Charlene does Reiki, you know, the YouTube channel. Remember to tap in, you know, support us, and we'll see you tonight. And again, always remember that you are perfect by design. Blessings.
Take care, guys.